Oh, hello everyone. My name is Chooks and welcome to the Students of Future Network for Sunday the 16th of August. It's been a long time coming, and this week we're going to be looking at the power of visualization. I just want to do a run through of what we've been doing, and I hope you've had a good weekend so far. And I'm hoping everyone can hear me. At this stage, it looks like I have no viewers yet, but I'm still going to go. What I've decided to do with the coming Hangouts is we're going to do like a webinar, and you can always listen to it any time of the day. And I hope you can send us your feedback concerning how we've been going. I'm doing another test, hoping this works out well. This is the second time I'm doing it at home. The other one wasn't very good, so we're hoping that this turns out well. So this is coming live from my house, my apartment in Melbourne, Australia. Just wanted to check with everybody concerning how the very first three Hangouts have been. I've got some really good feedback from some people. Some people have been too shy to want to post on the Facebook group. They sort of sent a few emails. I'd like some people to post whatever questions you have on the Facebook group if you're listening today. And hopefully we'll have a really, really good session or a good Hangout or a good webinar, as you want to call it. Like I said, my name is Chooks, and welcome to the Students of Future Network. Just letting you know that as a means of staying connected with us, we would encourage you to go like our page. The page for the company is Will to Live Consulting. It's a Facebook page, and the group for the students, which is a really, really great project for students to connect and develop themselves and hear about ideas to move themselves forward, is the Students of Future Network. It's a Facebook group. If you type that in the Facebook search button, you get us there. Go join the project or join the group or the network or whatever you want to call it, and start engaging. I'm very excited to say that we started our very first group coaching session. We've actually had 3 sessions so far, so this is going to be our second week at La Trobe University. A group of students come in on Mondays and Thursdays. There's 2 batches, and we've been discussing really, really important things, and I'm very glad to say that I am very impressed with the turnout. I would like I said earlier, I'd like to hear feedback from our various sessions. What's changed for you? What's still a challenge? And how can we move you forward? Last week we talked about how you introduce yourself, and I will encourage every young person to have a look at that or watch that discussion and hopefully get 1 or 2 points. Like I always say, I'm only sharing these things based on my experience and 1 or 2 tips I've learned on my journey. And yes, I would like to hear what's worked for you. And if you have more tips, I would encourage you to also share with others. Just a recap from the introduce you, we said last week that it's always important to keep your introductions short. Most importantly, only different introductions are important for different situations. You have to gauge the situation before you choose to divulge all the information about yourself. If it's a casual setting, maybe a little bit about my name is Jokes and this is what I do, that's fine. Then you can go deeper if it's a networking session. We talked about the elevator pitch and how you should go about creating your elevator pitch. One of my best tips in creating an elevator pitch is, first of all, knowing who you are and identifying the objective for that elevator pitch. When you're able to identify your strengths, your weaknesses, most importantly, what you can bring as a skill to whatever profession, you're able to design an elevator pitch. It's very important that you keep practicing your elevator pitch and tweak it as you go. Tweak it as you go. It doesn't have to be set in stone. You can change as you go. Now, just a few reminders to continue to invite your friends. I want to say welcome to everyone who's joined us over the course of the week. I hope you've been liking what we've been doing. And this is also a reminder to keep posting stuff. It's not, I would really, really, really appreciate it if people started posting stuff and starting conversations. This week I'm going to try out questions and see how people respond. I would really appreciate if you engage, because that's the essence of the Students of Future Network, is effecting change in the world 1 person at a time. And one of our core values is promoting connections and developing them further. So we're going to look at the topic for today, which is the power of visualization. And it cannot be stressed that each and every one of us come into this world with a purpose, and which is in most situations we have a vision of who we want to be and where we want to go. And from the ages of 0 to 7, we are very clear who we want to be and what we want to do. But due to the fact that we come into a world where there's different societal norms and culture, we begin to adapt to this culture just as a means of survival and also as a means of belonging to the society. Now, most times we remember these purpose in the stillness of the day. Now, when we see someone else do it and the joy of doing it in private, that's very important. So I always tell, over the course of the week, we were discussing about designing or creating an ideal average day. And I was always asking the students, what do you, okay, a few students said that they were not sure what their purpose was. And I said, that's fine, that's understandable, but, or what they feel they should be doing. And I said, okay, have you ever been in a situation where you've watched someone and you're like, I can do that better? Or you feel like there's a certain joy that comes from something you're doing, you don't even know, you can't explain it. Then I said, okay, that's an idea of how you can start to engage yourself in moving towards your goal or your passion. We often get convoluted by many worries of the day, that we get through each day without excitement and we keep repeating the same thing. There's no excitement because we just feel we need to meet a deadline, we need to do this and do the next thing. And at the end of the day, we repeat this cycle and drive ourselves into great exhaustion. We ultimately forget what our purpose or vision or our lives are because we have conformed to the social conditioning of the world. Now we can begin to tap into the power of visualization and harness the power of the 5th law of spiritual success, which is the law of intention. So that's what we want to discuss today. And in simple terms, the 5th law of success or intention is simply saying we should intend for what we want. When you put out that energy, somehow your brain or the universe begins to find a way for you to achieve it. And it's very important that you focus on that. This webinar is very important today because I wanted to discuss on the idea of visualization as a tool, because it's not until you can language or picture what you want and be vivid enough would you be able to find out a strategy or find out steps to get you there. It's very important because from my experience, I've always been a very visual person. I can imagine how things should be, and somehow for some unknown reason, I feel it's part of the energy of the world. You find a strategy to achieve that thing because you know it in your heart. That's it. I always tell people that it's always important to be as vivid as possible so that when it actually comes together, you're able to marry that event and say, okay, that happened because I actually pictured it. It's always good to always have a record of it, maybe write it down somewhere or maybe make a picture. There's several tools we can do, you can use to do that. There's the vision board tool that you can do pictures. You can do a practical one, whether it's an e-vision tool or a e-vision board, or you can actually do it on paper. Now, from history, it's known that all top performers, regardless of profession, know the importance of picturing themselves succeeding in their minds before they actually do it in reality. Now, taking the time to picture yourself succeeding before actually playing in a game is one of the tools most sports coaches teach athletes or sports people before they go into the game. Now, the more vivid, the better the chances of success. And most students who might be listening to this, especially those who I had a chat with on Thursday, we were looking at how vivid can you make it. And I said it's okay for you to add to this picture every day as you get up. It's always important to picture you're there as it's going to go and work out a strategy to get there. Yes, life is going to come. There'll be a little bit of challenge, but somehow, somewhere, there is something in the universe that works with that, the 5th law of intention and the power of visualization to help you achieve that. Now, while we're talking about the power of visualization, there's always a challenge. Now, the very first challenge is when you think of a big goal or a dream that you want to achieve, it's natural to think of all the obstacles that will come your way. That's a very, very common thing amongst all of us. We always feel, oh, it's too big. For some people who've mastered the act of visualization, it's pretty easy for them to just focus and identify how to go about it. But yes, that's a common challenge. So I'm letting you know, as a young person, if you're out there, just letting you know that yes, that is a challenge. It's not that it should stop you, but being aware that that's going to be a challenge would help your mind and your brain and the universe work to find a strategy to help you get there. Now, the challenge is far too often the challenge is that far too often we allow these obstacles to become so big in our mind that it inhibits us from moving forward. This is when many become satisfied with mediocrity. This is a point where, because it's too hard or it's too tedious, we say, okay, we're just going to settle for what we have. We're going to settle for what it is right now. We're going to say, oh, that's what life is giving us, so we're just going to run with it, and that's it. That's good enough. And that's a challenge. You should be aware of that. I'm letting you know that yes, it's a challenge, but you need to start programming yourself to know that there are ways to get through this challenge. Now I've got a few examples I put up on my slides, and I'm just gonna run through them. Now it simply says, consider these examples. The boxing legend Muhammad Ali was always stressing the importance of seeing himself victorious long before the actual fights. That was one of the things he always did, and he was sure he was going to win a fight, and that actually propelled him to put his best foot forward. Now, as a strongly actor, most of you would have heard of Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey used to picture himself being the greatest actor in the world, and there are a few stories about him saying he had paid himself a check before he actually got into acting, and when he got his first acting gig, that actually helped him remember that he promised that he was going to, or he was sure he was going to make 5 million in the gig. I'm not 100% sure with that story, but yes, that's one of the things I got from research. Another big one is Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan always took the last shot in his mind before he ever took one in real life. That was one of his tools, and most of us know that he's been an amazing basketball player, or he's now retired, now probably coaching or doing whatever he's doing, but he was one of the top basketballers. Now, just a little discussion of the fifth law of spiritual intention and desire. Now, this law is very important because I feel it's one of the things that actually brings the law of visualization to, if you can visualize what you want and intend for it, I think that's even more powerful. So I thought I'll just bring a little bit of it. Now, the fifth law of spiritual success is the law of intention and desire, which is simply saying a conscious change occurs by two features inherent in consciousness. It's the attention and intention. You need to be able to intend for something and give it attention to the point that you focus your energy to make that happen. And with visualization, which involves maybe drawing a picture or painting an idea, or in your brain, whatever works for you, of how that is going to come together. Those are two very powerful tools to succeed in whatever you want to do. Now, they say attention gives energy and intention generates a change and direction. That means when you're intending for something, for some reason, you start to picture a strategy or picture a way of getting that thing you've intended for. Now, our intent is actually for the future, and the attention is for the present. Now, you're intending for something because you want it to happen, and that we would refer to as happening in the future. And being attentive to what's happening now would help you slowly get there. It could happen fast in most people's cases, that's fine, but paying attention right now, which is the present. Okay, what can I do today to get to where I want to be tomorrow? That is the attention. Now, as long as the attention is given to the present, our intention to the future will be revealed, because the future is created in the present. Now, the future is something we can always create with remote intention, but we should never fight the present. And this also ties into what we've been talking about from the beginning. Start from where you are, embrace change. Now, if you're ready, we've already discussed all those things. If you start intending for things and start focusing on, okay, what do I need to do today to get to where I want to be tomorrow? these things start to line up in some shape or form. Yes, there will be challenges, and this is where you need to start practicing, starting from where you are. How can I embrace change? How can I constantly revamp myself to achieve what I want to achieve? Now, there's something that says a focused intention means focusing our attention in a purpose and be so effectively determined until we simply refuse to allow obstacles to divert or cancel the quality of our focused attention. That means you're so focused on winning or getting what you want that yes, there will be days where it's challenging, but for me, my experience is just get some rest. Get some rest, get some sleep. Don't worry about, don't overthink it at this stage. It's very hard to say because I overthink everything and overanalyze everything. But my biggest strategy I'll give to you from my experience is when you're tired, get some sleep and do it again tomorrow. That is a simple strategy I can give you. I'm not going to tell you something I haven't done because yes, I am one person who overanalyzes and overthinks things. But what I do for sure is when I'm really tired, I just get some sleep and I start again tomorrow. Tomorrow should be, from my opinion, should be a new day to start all over again. That's how I embrace my life. Just checking with everyone how everyone's going. And like I said earlier, feel free to post your questions in the Students of Future Network group. And just because I've got a lot of feedback saying that Sunday is not a really good time to do a hangout, and yeah, that's fine. What we've decided to do with this, and everyone is happy to say that we should go ahead doing it, but we should leave it as a webinar. So we can use the Google Hangout, but we're going to use it as a webinar because some people still want to read these, listen to these conversations later on. If you can join us, that's beautiful. If you can't, that's still beautiful. We're just going to keep going because we have a project, and this project is going to keep going despite the challenges we face, whether it's technical, whether it is commitments, whatever it is. We're just going to keep going. We're very glad to say that we started the group coaching at La Trobe University. I'm putting out the intention that one day I want to be one of the best public speakers, especially around the world and in Melbourne. I would love to go around schools, universities, any institution of higher education, whether even primary schools. I'm happy to have talks and get people engaged in this project. So that's my intention. My intention is to build a world where we are effecting change one person at a time, and at the same time we're staying connected to ensure that the bigger vision of Will to Live or Students of Future, and even for the world, would be to have humanity that is connected. That's what I want. Now, in terms of visualization, what is key? For me, the key is to make your positive vision stronger than anything that can set you back. Now, the point is, yes, this is what my theory. I always believe that there should be a plan A, plan B, and a plan C, but at the same time, make your vision so powerful that you can, whatever setback comes your way, you still go through it. Remember that this is part of change. It's not new, it's new to you. It's unfamiliar. So it's also okay to say, okay, I've never done this before. It frightens me, but I'm going to keep going. So it's okay. But the point is, make your vision so big that whatever, or so strong, that's the word, that nothing would set you back. Now, get as detailed as possible. When it comes to visualization, get as detailed as possible. I used to tell people I have the vision of the type of car I want to drive. I already know the color. I know what the leather seats should be and all that stuff. So I tell people to be as detailed as possible, because not only would you be able to recognize it when it's happening, you'll be able to know that it helps you in the process of elimination. If you have a choice, you have several choices. When you sit, let's use the idea of a car. When you sit in the car, you know the feeling you already created in your visual memory. So when you sit in it, you know, oh, this is not the feeling this is not how I thought I was going to feel, or this is not the color of it. It helps in your process of elimination, actually picking what is right for you. We all know what we want. The problem is, we haven't pictured it. We haven't gone as vivid as possible. So get as detailed as possible. Picture what you will do once your goal is reached. It's always important to have a goal in mind and set the plans to get to that goal. And when you do achieve the goal, maybe do a celebrate the success, or do something to say that yes, you've done it. Now, it's always important to understand how amazing that would feel. How will this change the course of your life is very important. Remember, the little details increase the likelihood of the big picture. As detailed as you can with your vision or whatever you want for your life, whether it's what you want to be, what you want to have, be as detailed as possible. Simply get in the habit of putting together a positive vision into your everyday life. We discussed this with, I discussed this with a few students at Latrobe University on Thursday, and I said, get up every day and picture how you want your day to go, and go accordingly. Yes, there will be challenges along the way, but with that, with the excitement of knowing that this is what you want to do, even if you don't achieve all of it, you know that you put your best foot forward, and the next day you design a better strategy to get there. Now, simply get into the habit of putting together a positive vision into your everyday life. Visualize yourself succeeding, achieving every goal, completing every task. See what it does for you and how it makes you feel. This will likely become a pivotal part of your success arsenal. Now, it's very important, if you want to succeed, to have a visual representation of what the success should look like when it happens, so that you as a person can recognize, oh, it has happened, so I was successful in it. Visualization as an outcome. Visualize an outcome of what you want, and over again I'm just going to take that in. Another key for success is visualize an outcome you want over and over again to build the cells of recognition in your memory bank, just like you may have had with a car or other learned object when you were younger. Now, why do you need to do this? Now, it says two ways. Now, first, you become consciously and acutely aware of everything that can help you achieve the visualized outcome that you desire. And secondly, you impress an idea into the subconscious part of you. It eventually becomes fixed, and you automatically attract and move towards that which you desire. This cannot be overemphasized. I always say that. Now, there are several results from research on the idea of visualization. Now, I've got a few that I've just put down on my slides, and it says the reason athletes practice visualization is because they want to condition their mind in such a way that the body automatically behaves the way they want it to without effort. Now, it's the only way to become unconsciously competent. Now, the same is true for highly successful people. There's a research that's been done about highly successful people. Now, if they visualize the success they want over and over again, eventually their bodies will automatically do whatever it must to make the image a physical reality. That is the importance of visualization. There are other results that I've got from research, because a lot of people want to know, how has it been done? Has it been done in the past? Is this currently being used? I believe a lot of successful people use it, and I'm telling you, I would only be sharing stuff that I know of, and that's why my topics are maybe not very well put together like experts will, but I'm going to be doing and sharing it based from my experience. Now, the outside world is a mirror image of the inside and hidden in your mental world. Unfortunately, very few people really take the time to learn this side of their personality. That is very unfortunate, because they don't know that the outside world is just a mirror image of the inside and the hidden mental world. And that is unfortunate, because this is a part that is so powerful. It is so powerful that we don't even know that our mind is a very important tool. Now, to visualize is to direct unseen energy. Remember when we said that be responsible for the energy you bring to the space? Everything you do is energy. So it's always important to visualize. To visualize is also to direct unseen energy into an orderly vibration. And for some reason, it brings everything together. Desires must first be created in thoughts. Desire, whatever you desire, has to be created in your thoughts, and then they are created in real life. Humans are the sum of what they think about and what they focus on most. I always tell most of my students, when we're trying to identify what sort of fear they're dealing with, I always say, what are you focusing on? And eventually they remember what I always say: what you focus on is what you get, to the exclusion of everything else. To be successful, you need to focus on strategies to be successful. Be solution oriented, not problem oriented. Yes, there are challenges, there are things I'm still, these are things I'm still trying to master myself. So I'm always encouraging people to join me on the journey to get in there and embrace the change as it comes. Now, I've got a few of my suggested strategies to harness the power of visualization. You can take these strategies because these have worked for me. You can also let us know what your strategies are and how we can better improve. I'm happy to learn from you and to know how to improve on myself. And like I said, the essence of this is so that we can stay connected and share. Now, I gave an assignment to a student I was talking to over the week, and I said, how many people have you told about your vision? And he said, none. And I told him that it's very important to tell someone about your vision because you're putting out the energy, and the energy would somehow attract someone to help you achieve that. And he said he never thought about it that way. And that was very interesting because I never thought about it that way until one of my mentors says, have you talked to someone about what you want to do? And I said, no, not really. Because she said it was because I wasn't sure about how it was going to come together. I'm still not 100% sure how Students of Future would come together, but I believe that I'm putting out the right energy and I'm going to attract the right people to make this work. Now, make your vision vivid. The first strategy I've said for giving out today is tell someone about your vision, your purpose, whatever it is. You might not understand how it's going to come together, but tell someone. The second one is make it as vivid as possible. Every day add to it and keep improving it. One day it'll all come together. That's how I see the world. Now take manageable actions towards it and embrace the learning. What I always ask people is, yes, you've put out the vision, you've created you visualize it, you've done your vision board or whatever it is. Now the question is, what are the manageable steps you can take towards achieving it? Remember that you're focusing on the attention towards the intention. When we talked about the fifth law of spiritual structure, which is the law of intention and desire. Always ask for help. I cannot tell you how much you should do that, and I stress it all the time. Ask for help, ask for help. You're on a journey to get to a destination or whatever you think your destination is, but I'm always going to say ask for help. Look for people to model. Who has done it in the past? My partner is one person who is very good at PR and marketing and all that. So I'm learning it. I'm actually learning social media. I'm actually getting better at it. I know there's still a lot to learn, but I'm still asking and asking. I'm going to master it. I know that. Now, do a vision board to marry the dream to the final outcome. This is one exercise I learned when I was in one of my training as a coach. And that was, we did a vision board. And now I know the importance of vision boards because when that happens, like, oh, I've actually achieved that. So it helps you and encourages you to do more. So these are generally my most important strategies for harnessing the power of visualization. I'm going to run through them again. Tell someone about your vision, make your vision vivid, be as specific as you can. Now take manageable actions towards it and embrace whatever learning that comes your way. Remember that we talked about embracing change. With every action towards a goal, there will be some things that will stand out as obstacles or challenges. These are the areas where you need to embrace change. Ask for help, look for people to model, and do a mini vision board. All right. We also agree that we're going to be doing a mini subsection of what I call my nuggets for success. And over the course of the week, a lot of students have said they've been having challenges with networking. So I'm going to give you my tips on networking. I'm not an expert in networking, but I'm just going to give you the tips that has worked for me. One of my tips is letting you know that everyone at the event is like you. Everyone is as afraid of everyone as possible. Yes, some people are not afraid because they are really confident. Now, the essence of you going to a networking event is so that you network. So begin by approaching one person and then introducing yourself. My name is Jukes, this is what I do, and this is why I'm here. What do? Get yourself engaged, and being excited or listening to what the person has to say is very important. My second strategy is challenge yourself to speak to at least 5 people. I challenged one of my students to do 10, and he came back with more than 10 cards, which is very impressive because he ended up finding out that everybody there were easy to talk to. But in some cases, they might be very, very, very challenging in terms of their ranks. But the truth of the matter is everyone is the same, despite the ranks or their positions in whatever organization. They came to a networking event for a reason. You never know if they came into that networking event to actually look for someone to recruit. So be as bold as possible. Talk to as many people as possible. If you're starting out for the first time, yes, challenge yourself to at least 5. Get 5 cards. Let people know who you are and what you do or what you're aspiring to do or become, and get the card and move on. My third strategy is listen and be engaging. If someone's talking about what they do, be curious about it. So how do you do that? Even if you've never heard about the profession, just ask them, what does that mean? What do you do really? You understand the title, but you don't understand the job description. They're always happy. People are always happy to tell you something they're passionate about, and they'll tell you about so much. At some point, you might just be standing there listening to a long story, but once you've given them that attention, you've actually clicked with them. That's what I call it. So listen and be engaging. Ask questions that matter. My last strategy is offer to stay connected outside of the event. You can choose to say, can I connect with you over LinkedIn? Yes, they will give you the details and you can connect with them. Some of them will give you their cards. If you're brave enough, and I'm going to, just another test or challenge, is asked to catch up for coffee one day after work or something. So can I catch up with you after work? There's something I'm working on and I would like to really discuss with you. And there is no way. Most people will say yes, especially in Melbourne. People are very easygoing. They'll tell you, okay, yes, we can do coffee. I'm happy to chat with you. If they don't have time, they will schedule something for you. So try these strategies. These are my nuggets for professional development, especially as it pertains to networking. So I'm urging you, speak to 5 people, talk to them, and stay connected. Now, I always want to talk about the quotes of the day. Now, my favorite quotes, which come from my quotes, my books, I always keep quotes everywhere I go, is first, especially in relation to what our topic is today, is what you focus on is what you get to the exclusion of everything else. That is very important because whenever you feel stuck, always ask yourself, what am I focusing on right now? If you know you need rest, just get some rest. Sometimes what people say is depression is just you being tired or lack of nutrition. So I always choose not to make any decision when I'm really exhausted, especially if I'm not focusing properly. So this quote is very important. What you focus on is what you get to the exclusion of everything else. Now, another quote is, in life, we do not attract what we want, we attract who we are. And that's a famous quote from Fatma Chimgura. I love that quote because I believe that we always attract who we are, especially if you look at your friends, you find out that you have some things in common. And when you put out an intention, you begin to find people who are going to help you get to where you want to go. And that's very important. The last quote for the day is, what you think you become, what you feel you attract, and what you imagine you create. And that's from Buddha. I love that quote because I learned that quote when I was about 12. I heard it first and I was like, what does that mean? But it's not until I started growing that I started understanding what that quote means. It means that whatever you're thinking on right now, you slowly put out that energy and you become that thing. Whether it's good or bad, that's the truth about it. Whether it's good or bad, and it also relates to what you're focusing on. So, and whatever you're feeling, you begin to attract it. If you're feeling down and you don't try to change that, you begin to attract things around you to make you feel down. That's just the way I feel. And when you imagine something, your brain starts to work out the process to attractive way of actually achieving it. So I'm going to say that again. What you think you become, what you feel you attract, and what you imagine you create. All right, we're just going to call it a wraps here, and just letting you know that your feedback is really gold. Whatever your feedback is on these sessions, please let us know. You can post it on the Facebook group, Student to Future. network, or you can send us an email at info@w2lconsulting.com. Like I said, my name is Chooks, and as we continue on this journey of connecting young people for the purpose of effecting change one person at a time, we hope to stay connected with you either on Facebook. For those people who need resources for growth, I got a feedback. People say they like the resources I've been providing, so I'm going to keep going with the resources, and especially with resources from the books I've read. Now, it's a resource for growth. If you want to read, is please look at the Seven Spiritual Deepak Chopra. I read that book and it's amazing. I'm still trying to master those laws, but I believe in the laws. I'm just trying to get to mastery. So I'm going to encourage people who want to read. Look at that. My final resource for the day is Unlimited Power by Anthony Robbins. It is a very, very amazing book. You're going to learn so many tricks about how to use the power of visualization. What I've done in this session is share my experience. He may have more. I'm not going to be sharing what I haven't done, so I'm going to share with you only what I've done. And I'm going to urge you to also try as much as possible to learn from other people and grow, because that's the essence of life. Our next Hangout, hopefully, we'll be looking at goal setting. And the question is, are you committed to goal setting? But at the same time, I want to put it out there. If you have something you want us to talk about, please send me an email and we'll talk about it. Someone has already told me they want us to talk about goal setting, so we're going to look at goal setting next week or in the next fortnight. And for the nuggets for success in terms of professional development, I'm going to talk about my strategies for building a professional network. People always say, how come you know so many people? And I keep saying, I really don't know any. I don't know so many people. I only try to stay connected with people as much as I can. And basic tips like just saying hello or sending a text saying I'm thinking about you is enough to keep the connection going. I'll share my tricks and my tips, and hopefully I will see how I can do some research and more tips on how you can build a professional network. I hope you've enjoyed this session, and as I always say, have an exceptional week, and we look forward to staying connected with you. Have an exceptional week. I'm going to just run through the slides as we end, and if you want to have a look, just look through the slides. Thank you for watching.